don't let Warren Throckmorton tell you he's a religious conservative. There's a new piece out today showing just how radical he is on religious and biblical issues. He's part of the religious left, and if you look at his blog, he associates with Jim Wallace and with Right Wing Watch and all these groups that are clearly left. So he's made a lot of ground by making people think he's a religious conservative, and therefore he, a religious conservative, is taking on me, a religious conservative, which is not the case. He is definitely nowhere close to center on this thing. He's left of center by a long way.
Well, David, let me ask you this. Let me just interject this one thing here, because Warren Throckmorton has come after me repeatedly. He's at Grove City College. This has a reputation for being a conservative school.
Yeah.
And I believe from the stuff I read about Warren Throckmorton in the 80s and into the 90s, he was on our team. He was on our side.
Was.
But what
Agreed.
seemed to happen to me, and I want to get your take on this, is a little bit off topic, but he believed in reparative therapy, for instance, for homosexuals, that homosexuals can change. And it seems like when he changed his mind about that, when he switched sides on the issue of homosexuality, then it was inevitable that in the course of time he was going to be an enemy of the truth, basically in all of its forms. That just seems to be a watershed issue. If you compromise on that, then you're on a slide where you're going to wind up as an enemy of the truth.
You will, and you know, that's an interesting thing, because in Congress, I have seen time and time again that if you compromise on moral truth, your voting record and your worldview changes. I can point to a number of guys in Congress that were very, very conservative, great worldview records. They got involved in an adulterous affair, and suddenly their whole social voting record changed as a consequence. If you move your moral compass, your whole worldview outlook changes. And Warren Throckmorton was into reparative therapy. Now he's saying, no, that's a bad thing. You can't do that. And, you know, even on his blogs, he's talking about how the laws that say homosexuality are wrong, they're not biblical. Really, the Bible says that homosexuality is not wrong. So you get in this thing where that once you move your moral compass, everything else changes. Now, what's interesting is folks that have taken a very definite stand for traditional marriage and against homosexuality, which I have, which you have, which Scott Lively and so many others have. Those are the guys he's going after. He's specifically going after guys who have been very strong on marriage and very, very clear about homosexuality being wrong. And so, you know, here I am a target.